Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
but
it's a
use it.
lifestyle too. I mean, it's definitely the places in the world where people do that a lot, Norway, Sweden, up in that whole neck of the woods, people generally are very healthy. And
Mhm,
it's got to be a big part of it.
mhm. Yep, yep.
And your diet, I'm on a very rigorous diet, and I fast too. I do intermittent fasting sometimes, but now I'm on a very rigorous exercise program because
Uh,
I'm fighting this cancer, so
mhm,
I have to be very strong, and
Yep.
so I'm going through some very rigorous training right now to get strong.
Okay.
But on my day off, I work hard for 5 days, and then I take 2 days off to rest.
Okay.
First rest day, I fast for 36 hours,
Nice,
and
nice.
that's my only when I'm resting though, because otherwise I'm working too hard.
Mhm,
You get a conflict. You start consuming your own muscles
mhm.
when you work on a fast. So that's a program, but I'm learning a lot about different techniques. I've done intermittent fasting for 7 years. I lost 50 pounds about between 7 and 5 years ago, and I've kept it off because of fasting and my diet and everything. But it's super, super important to your diet, your exercise, and fasting's just part of your diet. It's just how you. So how is your diet? Like, a lot of different people have a different healthy diet, and it's not one answer for everybody. Some people are like, you got to be vegan. Some people are like, you got to be carnivore. Some people are like, you got to be paleo. Some people are like, you got to be. Everybody's got their own, but there are some pillars of diet that I think are important no matter what. And
Mhm.
just curious how your diet is.
I have started getting sick with meat about 8 years ago.
Okay.
My body just didn't like it. It always puke and uh, felt horrible after. So I haven't eaten meat in about 8 years, but
What?
I tuna, I eat shrimp, I eat fish,
All right.
eggs, and dairy, and just not red meat or pork or
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
it. I eat all kinds of vegetables and
Mhm.
mhm. Diet is uh, number one. The number one thing.
It
The
is.
diet is number one.
Do you grow any vegetables?
Yep.
Good, good,
Uh,
good.
I I grew tomatoes this year, little ones
Nice,
and big ones. Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's great.
Cannabis. Cannabis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The good thing is we can talk freely about that here. It's like we both grew up in a world where we had to be so careful and quiet about that. But finally, the world is not that way anymore.
Mhm,
Unfortunately, we didn't go far enough, and it's still people are still getting locked up, and it's
mhm.
probably never going to change because nobody wants to keep going. And I fight and fight and fight, and can't get anybody to help me anymore. And so I just say, well, we're gonna do the best we can, and I talk freely about the need to normalize whatever medicine. It shouldn't matter if you want to eat mushrooms or if you want to use cannabis or peyote or ayahuasca or whatever your medicine is. I don't care if it's good for you and it doesn't hurt anybody else.
Yep.
Why should anybody care, right? I mean, they got no problem sticking fentanyl patches on you and sending you to all
Every.
these horrible um addictive problematic drugs that have all these side effects and ruin your organs. And I
It
know
did. It
some
did.
people that have ruined their bodies because of the pharmaceutical drugs that
Mhm.
they put on. And
Yeah.
that's where I'm drawing the line. Is I'm fighting my battle. I'm not going down the pharmaceutical road. I'm choosing a couple of medications that I believe to be safe, and I'm
Mhm.
not doing the things that they might recommend,
Mhm.
even if it might help me. The problem is it will probably hurt me too. And so you got to say, well, what do I do? Maybe if it was that or die, I might choose it. But the point is, it's generally not that or die, And
Every medicine has side effects. I don't care what it is.
I know, and that's the problem. But when you're working with natural medicines, the side effects are not bad.
No, no.
Like with cannabis, I say it's funny because I've worked with cannabis for almost 40 years, and I say the side effects are a general feeling of well-being,
Yeah.
and maybe you get a little hungry.
Yep, yep.
That
Melty.
that's about it, really. I mean, over time, people can have issues. I don't smoke hardly at all anymore. I eat when I'm gonna do it because I have a chronic lung condition since I was a baby, and smoke doesn't help it. Smoke is smoke,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so your lungs are probably not crazy about breathing in smoke if they can avoid it, but you can consume cannabis in so
Yeah,
many ways
yeah.
that you don't have to smoke it. You can eat it, you can rub it on you, you can do so many different things. So,
Mhm.
I think and with some of the other plant medicines, I sometimes people have a negative experience, but if you do, then don't do it. Right? I mean, nobody's making anybody do anything they don't want to do. And
Mhm.
that's so I think it's fantastic that you're growing your own vegetables, growing your own medicine.
Yeah.
Those are things that as a cannabis grower, I right now I'm not really growing it. The first time in my life I'm really not, because I've got all these school kids coming over to my gardens now and doing all these things, and I'm like, I don't need to grow it right now. And I've spent 40 years of my life growing it, and I have had a wonderful experience. And if I wanted to grow it again, I will. But it
Have to.
it's not helping me right now to grow it. And so I'm better in the things I'm doing right now to not
Mhm.
have it growing. I would love to have the world where it wouldn't matter if I had school kids running around my place, and but we're not quite there yet. Even in California, people think,
Yeah.
oh, everything's okay, but it's not. People still, it still is a barrier to some people. So
Mhm.
right now I still work with it extensively, but I don't have plants growing all over the yard anymore. But I always said there was something really magical about growing that plant. I grow lots of plants. Geez, I have so many plants growing here, vegetables and
I
herbs.
can't wait to see. I
I
can't wait to see.
I know, absolutely. And you know what? When you come, bring your whole family. We'll put you up. You can hang out.
Thank
It'll
you. Thank you. It is awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. But the point is I grow all these different plants. I grow microgreens, I grow
Mhm.
vegetables, I grow all this stuff. But there's something about that one plant that is just magical. The way it responds, how quickly it grows, and just it's just it's a very magical plant. That's all I can
Mhm.
say. And I
Yeah.
always told people, I go, I don't think that the medicine is addictive, but growing it is. And
Yes.
that's
Yes.
that's the thing. It's so hard to once you get started growing it, it's almost very difficult to not do that anymore.
Is
It's
in
only
your
after I
blood.
grow it all I wanted for a long time that I'm like, I guess I could be okay. But even still, I've still got seeds sitting around. Every once in a while, I'm like, maybe I'll toss a few in there just because.
Yeah. Nice, nice.
But
It's still in your blood.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I still consume it, and it's still part of my life, and I will always advocate for it, even if I didn't use it, because I know how much good it's done for how many people. And there's people alive today. You're such a great example of going from this one, coming from the medical world where you got trained from the pharmaceutical companies. you
Yeah.
know they're the ones that funded your schooling, that taught you how to treat patients, and
Hmm.
you didn't even necessarily
The
realize.
wrong way. The wrong way. The wrong way.
And what's really kind of gets me is like when doctors, they go and they pass their exams, and then they go and take that oath, and they're supposed to say, they say that they're not going to harm anybody.
Mhm.
And I think to myself, they knowingly
Mhm.
prescribe treatments that will for sure cause somebody harm. Like radiation. I mean, the radiation treatments they give people, I deal with people after they've gotten radiation, and I give them medicines that help them heal the radiation poisoning.
Yep.
And I,
Burns and stuff like that
oh
too.
my God, it's horrible, horrible. And it doesn't go away. I mean, it's like it lasts for a long, long time, and we
The
can
nerve damage is all. Oh God, it's bad.
all of it. It's terrible. And then the chemotherapy. I mean, sometimes people they give up and they die because the chemo is so bad that they just don't want to do it anymore.
And not taking chemo a day of my life again.
Yeah,
I take three kinds. I take three kinds for my lupus, and I not taking it anymore.
yeah,
My family knows that. My
yeah,
uh, everyone knows that.
yeah. And I know a lot of people that have come to that place, and sometimes it only took them one time, sometimes it's twice, sometimes it's three times. I don't know many people that have gone through it more than three times. So you had a pretty tough constitution to get through it three times as it was. But nonetheless, when you think about it and you make a choice like that and you say, I'd rather have the disease than the treatment,
Yeah.
that says something pretty bad about that treatment. Now I know that I'm doing a lot of research now that I'm fighting cancer. I'm doing a ton of research, and I'm looking at all different possible alternative treatments. I have this Rife machine, and I don't know if you know anything
Yeah.
about
Yeah. Yeah.
Rife, but I have this machine. I just got done doing a treatment, and it has these electromagnetic pulses, and it shoots these
Good.
things. I feel it's helping.
Good.
I have a number of different supplements. I'm doing different diet, exercise, all different kinds of things.
I
And
got a question.
yes,
You doing grandma RSO?
I'm not right now, and here's why. I'm working with different plant medicines right now, and that's my ace in the hole. So I'm going to share some things with you that I'm not talking about in the public, but if somebody comes here,
Sorry.
no, 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 it's okay. If somebody comes here, I'm an open book, but I don't talk about these things on social media and places where people just want to gossip. I'm in the process of moving my business back home. And because of dealing with this health issues and our business has taken a downturn because of the COVID and it's been very difficult. We went and moved, and I got this place with all this overhead, and it's just killing me. So right now, if I went and I took that, I'd be so paralyzed. I wouldn't be able to move. I wouldn't be able to do the things I need to do right now. So what I'm doing is I'm doing everything but that right now.
Okay.
And I'm holding that as my ace in the hole. I'm in preparation for a surgery. I'm going through a number of different treatments that I'm using on my own, and I'm meeting with the specialist team in about 2 weeks, and we're going to see what they have to say. Um, and if it turns out that I'm not beating it with the other tools that I have, and I'm working with other different plant medicines as well. I'm working with a medicine woman that is amazing, and she's beat cancer 7 times on her own. And so I'm working with some of the same tools that she's used. But I have my oil, and if I get to a place where I go, okay, I need if this isn't working enough, I will go straight to the full dose,
Okay.
and I will take it as needed. So
Okay.
I'm prepared to do that. I was doing it. I was building myself up. I was up to about 450 milligrams in a day. And for me, I was such a lightweight. That was just kicking my ass so bad. I just couldn't hardly function. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to run a business and stay alive because see, I don't have any cushion. I'm self-employed. So if all of a sudden I'm not making any money, who's going to pay for all this? All people don't realize that all this stuff is, even if you have insurance, you still got to pay for it.
Mhm.
And so, that's the part. I don't have a backup plan. I've been, an entrepreneur all my life. And so because of that, I have to make these choices. So right now I'm just going at it with a lot of will and a lot of support and diet and exercise and supplements. I'm on a number of different supplements, and I believe, we're gonna beat it.
Mhm.
But if it comes down to it and I hit a turning point where I go, wow, this isn't doing it, I'll go right to the oil before I do any chemo or radiation.
Good.
Absolutely. No,
I just was wondering.
oh yeah, no, I got it right in my back pocket. I got suppositories,
Good.
I
Good.
got my oil, it's clean, it's good, it's ready to go. So,
Good.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love suppository, and I love
Great.
suppository.
Yeah, yeah, they work great, and they
Mhm.
they, they help you to not have to be so loaded,
Mhm.
but you got to do both. I think you can't do it all
Yep.
one way. I think
Yep.
I think
Me too. Me too.
uh, I was doing about 300 in suppositories and 200 orally,
Okay.
and still left me
Rock
so
you roar. Yeah.
stupid all the time. I just was so hard to do anything, So, and then, when I come to that, it's hard to exercise because you just don't feel like doing anything. And so right now, like I said, I'm focusing on a lot of strength and just trying to power through it right now. So,
Nice. You cut out all of your sugars.
oh yeah, a long
Okay.
time ago. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
on a very rigorous diet. My diet, I have one grapefruit in the morning. That's the only fruit I eat all at all.
Okay.
And I have one bowl of beans in my morning breakfast, and that's the only non-vegetable carbs that I eat. Everything else, I eat protein, I eat vegetables, and
Good.
I eat eggs. I eat a lot of eggs. I eat a lot of fish. I eat sardines. I eat,
Mm.
they're super good for you, and I like them. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Have a lot of good fats in them.
exactly. I eat a lot of avocados. I eat some
Mhm.
nuts,
Good. Good.
but I eat really like that's it. That's my diet. I
Good.
haven't had any sugar in probably going on 3 months now.
Good. 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 Good.
Nothing. I mean, not a piece of bread, nothing, no bread,
Nice.
no tortillas, none of it. I
Good for
have
you.
a little bit. My wife makes a zucchini bread with cassava flour,
Okay.
and so and she uses this stuff called yacon syrup as a sweetener, and it's zero glycemic index. It's a real probiotic, and I can't find it. Nobody has it anymore, and it's killing me because it's a great sweetener and it's the cleanest thing out there. And it comes from Peru. It's from a root in Peru, and I'm struggling to find it. I used to have a source for it. I buy it by the gallon, and now they don't have it anymore. But that's it. Like that's the only I don't even eat carrots because they have too much sugar in them. It's no beets. I mean, I eat giant salads.
Mm.
I'll eat cheese, cottage cheese. I'll have
Yeah.
I don't
Good.
really drink milk, but it's milk and I just don't drink it because it congests me. But cheese, I'll eat cheese and I'll eat you know, I eat a little bit of red meat, but it's comes from a farm that we know, and it's a good raised, good, clean. Everything about it's good, and I eat a little bit of chicken. I don't really eat pork. Once in a great while, I'll have a little bacon because it's just so damn good.
Mhm.
But once in a while, like maybe once in 2 months.
My dad has. My dad raises Highland cows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They said their meat perfect. They don't feed in any grain or anything. They
Yeah.
open uh, eat briars and uh, things like that. Good.
Yeah, yeah. We have a local farm that we buy from, and once every 2 months I get a box of meat, and that lasts me. And they have chicken and
Right.
beef and some just really good quality, and you can just taste the difference. It's like, you
No
know,
fat.
it's,
No fat.
yeah, no, it's just really good. So
Yep.
but again, I'll eat meat maybe once every 2 weeks. I don't have, I'll have fish 3 or 4 times a week, and then 2 or 3 days a week I eat just vegetables, and then one day a week I fast.
Okay.
So one
Yep.
day one day I go 36 hours and I don't eat, and then I mix it up. I don't have like a set schedule or anything like that, but you listen to your body. I think that's part of it. Do you like when you've gone through so many different uh cycles and so many different struggles, do you get an intuition on like what you should be doing, or do you just, I mean,
I get an intuition on everything. I know
yeah,
everything. I
good,
so aware of my body now.
good.
You have to be. Everybody has to be. If you're not, it's gonna be a downhill spiral like me. You
Well,
gotta be in tune.
and I think part of it is like, there's so many different schools of thought, so many different diets, so many different exercise programs, and everybody believes they're one thing, right? But
You gotta
there
find yours.
yeah, and that's what I tell everybody. That's always been my message is we're all unique. Your thumbprint is never like nobody else's thumbprint in the world. Your
Yeah.
DNA is like nobody else's in the world. So why would your diet be like anybody else's? Why would your treatment, your body is so unique that you have to find your way to your health. And I think that's one of the central messages of this. And that's why hearing different people and the different things that you hear in common. And, there are some pillars that you say, like you said right off the bat, sugar. Well, sugar's not good for anybody. And processed foods, I don't eat any processed foods. Everything we cook from scratch. We start with just food and we make food. And
Yeah.
I don't eat
You
things
got to.
I don't
You
eat
got
things out of a can. I don't open up a bag of, you know, some snack that I can't read what the hell is in it. I don't do any of that. And
to.
even fast food or anything like that, they cook with poison, seed oils, and you
They
know,
know it. They know it.
oh, I know it's cheap and it doesn't go bad and it tastes good and they make it salty enough that everything tastes all right and it's easy and cheap and everybody buys it, but not me. Yeah. And the thing that sucks is I spent plenty of my life eating lousy. You know, I, I probably gave this to myself with all the bad habits that I've had in my life. And yet, I'm going to beat it too.
Yep,
So
yep. You can fix it. You can fix it.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly. Well, Tanya, it's been really great talking to you, and
I love talking to you too.
you're doing fantastic, and you're easy to listen to. You're doing fantastic. So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
what I'd like to do next time is think about a specific topic and we can go deeper into any one topic. And now that everybody kind of knows who you are, where you come from, it'll make it easier. Like I have
Ohio.
some guests that come on the show a dozen times and we just go into one subject or another. And you have such a wealth of experience and so many things that we haven't even touched on. So I know that you're an inspiration to a lot of people, and I know you do a lot of public uh, you do lives on Facebook
Everything.
and things like that. You're an advocate. You're out there talking about things. So how does somebody get a hold of you if they want to get in touch?
Uh, um, I Tonya Sand and Facebook. My pay my battle my story on Facebook also too.
All right, and then we're gonna have your portfolio and your little bio up on the platform too, so that we'll have a link to how to get to you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I loved it. I love it. What you doing? I wish we were closer.
Well, we're going to get closer. We're just going to spend more time together, even if we do it this way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, for
well,
sure,
I thank you for
for sure.
being here. I'm going
Thank
to
you so much.
end the recording and then we can keep talking for a
Thank
minute.
you.
All right. This has been the Healthy Living Podcast brought to you by Willow Creek Springs. This has been another episode of the Healthy Living Podcast. We produce this show so that people can share their stories, people that have overcome obstacles, people that are undergoing obstacles. We're building a community of health-minded individuals. If you're interested in supporting the show, please leave a review on the platform you're listening to it on. If you're interested in becoming a guest, please send an email to itsjoegrumbine@gmail.com, or you can send a note into the notes section of the podcast. All right. Well, thank you for supporting this show, and we hope you've enjoyed it.